On August 27th, 1883, the volcanic island of Krakatoa in the Sunda Strait between Java and Sumatra produced the loudest sound in recorded human history. The final explosion was heard nearly 5,000 kilometers away in Rodriguez Island, near Mauritius, where the chief of police reported hearing what sounded like distant cannon fire across the Indian Ocean. The pressure wave circled the globe 3.5 times, detected by barographs at weather stations worldwide. The eruption destroyed most of the island, generated tsunamis that killed an estimated 36,000 people, and injected so much ash into the stratosphere that global temperatures dropped by over 1 degree Celsius for the following year. Sunsets around the world turned vivid red for months. The sky over New England was so unusually colored that fire departments were called out to respond to what residents believed were distant fires on the horizon. Krakatoa had been dormant for roughly 2 centuries before the 1883 eruption. The island sat in one of the most volcanically active regions on Earth, where the Indo-Australian tectonic plate dives beneath the Eurasian plate. But the long silence had made the volcano a geographic feature rather than a threat. Ships passed through the Sunda Strait daily. Towns and villages lined both coasts of the narrow waterway. The eruption's preliminary phase began in May of 1883, with moderate explosions and steam venting that attracted sightseers rather than evacuations. Residents of the nearby towns treated the activity as entertainment. The catastrophic phase began on the afternoon of August 26th and continued through the morning of August 27th. 4 enormous explosions occurred in roughly 5 hours, each one progressively more devastating than the last. The final blast, at 10:02 in the morning local time, was the one that entered the record books. It has been estimated at roughly 310 decibels at the source, a sound level that exceeds the threshold of human hearing by such a margin that it functioned less as sound and more as a physical shockwave. Eardrums of sailors on ships 60 kilometers away were ruptured, windows shattered in houses over 150 kilometers from the volcano. The explosion pulverized roughly 25 cubic kilometers of rock and launched it into the atmosphere. 2/3 of the original island collapsed into the emptied magma chamber below, creating a submarine caldera. The collapse and the explosions generated a series of tsunamis, the largest of which reached heights estimated at over 30 meters when it struck the coastal towns of Java and Sumatra. The town of Merak was completely destroyed. The steamship Barao was carried nearly 2 kilometers inland and deposited in a river valley 10 meters above sea level, where its remains sat for decades. The death toll from the tsunamis dwarfed the deaths from the eruption itself. Entire coastal communities were erased. The Dutch colonial government, which administered the region, conducted a partial census of casualties and arrived at a figure of over 36,000 dead, but the actual toll was almost certainly higher, as many remote communities were not counted. The atmospheric effects were global and unprecedented in the era of scientific measurement. The ash cloud circled the Earth, creating optical phenomena that were documented by observers on every continent. Average global temperatures declined by an estimated 1.2 degrees Celsius in 1884. Weather patterns were disrupted for years. The eruption provided one of the first clear demonstrations that volcanic activity could alter climate on a planetary scale, a concept that would later become central to understanding mass extinction events and nuclear winter scenarios. In 1927, a new volcanic island emerged from the caldera left by the 1883 eruption. It was named Anak Krakatoa, meaning Child of Krakatoa. It has been growing steadily since, gaining roughly 5 meters in height per year. In December 2018, a partial collapse of Anak Krakatoa generated a tsunami that struck the coasts of Java and Sumatra, killing over 400 people. The collapse happened without the dramatic eruption sequence that preceded the 1883 disaster, catching coastal populations off guard. No tsunami warning was issued because the existing warning system was designed to detect earthquake-generated tsunamis, not volcanic collapses. Krakatoa was not the largest eruption in recorded history. That distinction belongs to Mount Tambora, also in Indonesia, whose 1815 eruption was roughly 4 times more powerful and caused the year without a summer across the northern hemisphere. But Krakatoa occurred in an age of telegraphs, newspapers, and global shipping, making it the first truly global natural disaster, witnessed and documented in real time by a connected world. It proved that an event on a small island in Southeast Asia could darken skies in London and cool temperatures in New York. The world, it turned out, shared an atmosphere,